Okay, good evening, everyone. By the time the other joins, we'll start off with the class today. Mm, Today, we will discuss the practical aspects of all the various kind of the operators that you have done in class 8. But before that, uh, first we will get to learn about the various operators that we will be using in the Java programming. Okay, so we start off with the class. Firstly, you have to understand that the different types of the operators has been categorized on the basis of certain requirements. Okay, so right now, as you can see a board in front of you. Okay, so to start off, the types of operators. Okay, types of operators. They have been categorized into into different categories depending upon the kind of work that we are dealing with. Okay, what are those things? Number one is total number of operand, total number of operands, and the next time the next part is the functionality. Okay, as you can see, the different types of the operators has been categorized on the basis of two categories, that is uh, number of operands, okay, and the functionalities of the operator. Accordingly, the operators in the Java compilers are basically divided into several blocks. But first of all, we have to understand that what is operator. Okay, we have to understand what is operators. Okay, so to define operators, it's very simple that uh, these are these are special symbols. These are special symbol. Okay, uh, you can also add two more points. That is, just a minute. These are special symbols which act on operands. In this case, we generally use the concept variables or values. Okay, to give some results. Okay, so basically, what is operators? These are special symbols which act on operand. What is operand? In the bracket, I have specified that it is it can be a variables or it can be the value to give some results. Okay, so that means basically whenever we are performing any operations or whenever we are performing any kind of expressions, okay, then we generally see that the operator is required. So with related to these equal terms, we will also have to learn that what is expression, what is expressions, okay, equivalent to this term. That is, expression is the combination combination of operators operators and operands to produce some results. So basically, as you can see that every terms are actually interrelated with each other. The first is the operand, next is the operator, and third is the expression. That means basically if we just summarize this entire term into small, then we can write that output from expression is equal to combination of operators and operands, as you can see. Okay, so that means we have to form a expression. Without expression, no output can be obtained. Okay, to form the expression, what all things we need? We need operators and we need operands. Okay, now operands can be in the form of variables, or it can be in the form of some constant values. Okay, so this is basically the outline structure or the relation between the expressions, the operators and the operands. Now, as I say, that our operators is basically divided upon the two halves. One is the operands and one is the functionalities. Okay, so this can be further divided into three subcategories. Okay, this can be divided into three subcategories. Number one is unary operator, unary operators. Number two is binary operators. And number three is ternary operators. Okay, so that means basically if we categorize different types of the operators on the basis of the operand, then we have three different types, that is unary, binary and ternary. Okay, so to make it much more easier to remember, okay, unary means 1, okay, binary means 2 and ternary means 3. Okay, but the confusion that generally arises is that unary ones mean what? One operator, binary means two operator, ternary means three operator. No, it's not operators, it is one operand, two operand and three operand. Okay, so on the basis of one operand and two operand and three operand, the different types of the operators have been categorized into the Java programs. We will come in details and we will discuss about it also. Okay, now coming to the functionalities. Now, since there are so many symbols available in the Java program, it is also important to identify that which symbol functions what. Okay, so on the basis of that, again, on the basis of the functionality, these operators on the basis of the functionalities are actually divided into three subcategories. Okay, this time not the operands, this time it is on the basis of the functionalities. What is number one? Number one is arithmetic operators, or you can also say arithmetical operators. Okay, the second one is relational operators. Okay, relational operators, and the last part is logical operators. Okay. We will again discuss in details each and every time. Now, as we have already seen that the types of the operators are actually categorized into two subcategories. One is the functionalities, the one is the operands, and one is the functionalities. Okay. Now, on the basis of the operands, as we were discussing, that it is unary operator, binary operator, ternary operator. Why did we say that it is divided on the basis of the operand? We discussed this on the basis of the operands only because that the total number of operand present in that expressions are actually decide what kind of operator we are using. Okay, so we can also revise the definition of the expressions with respect to this. So if I have to say, let's say, if I define the expression definition with respect to the operand, then we can say something like this. Okay, that is, if, or rather we don't say if, we change it in some other way. Okay, in terms of the operand, if we have to describe it, then expressions are also basically three types. Okay, these are also three types. Okay, why? Because total number of the operands will actually decide that how many, what kind of expression you are forming. So it can be again unary expression, binary expression, and ternary expression. Okay, and if we have to define on the terms of functionalities, that is expression in terms of functionalities, then again it can be further divided into three halves. Okay, number one is arithmetic, one is relational, and one is logical expression. Okay, so basically as you can see that actually the involvement of the operators along with the operands can also define various types of expression, and various types of expression also have the opportunity to produce different types of output. Okay, so we'll move on to the next in details. So firstly, we will discuss the operators in terms of the operand, and not only that, we will also discuss the various types of the expression using the operators related to the operand. Okay. Okay. So first we will discuss about the operators and expression, okay, related to operands. When we talk about the operands, that means we will discuss about the total number of the operand which is used along with the operators. Okay, so if we have to form, okay, I just divide this into half so that you can easily understand. Okay, so first thing we are discussing with unary part. Okay, and when I say unary, unary represents 1. Unary represents 1. So that means total number of operand. So the first point that lies is that total operand will be 1. Total operand will be 1, only then we can term it as a unary operator. Okay, so this is just a definition. Now also we have to see that what all operators are actually available in the operand. So the first one is plus, plus. Next we have minus, minus. Okay, so these are the two basically operators which are available in the case of the unary stage. That means this kind of operators required only one operand. Okay, so now when I was talking about the operand also, I talked about that this operand can be operand can be a variable or values. Okay, so with related to the variable, if I give you an example, variable, okay, then the kind of thing that we can actually form the unary operator, it looks like something a plus plus, okay, a minus minus, okay, then you have plus plus a, and then you can have minus minus a. Okay, now as you can see that the total number of the operand is only one. Beside plus plus operator you have only one operand. Beside minus minus operator you have one operand. Beside plus plus you have one operand. Then you have another one operand. Okay, so in terms of the variable, if you create any kind of expression, then your expression with the help of the unary operator looks like this. Okay, now if we try to show you with in the forms of values, that means maximum one values, because we are using the unary operator. So how does it look like? We can take any value, any constant value. So it looks like this: 8 plus plus, then you have minus minus 8. Okay, then you can have certain examples like you can have plus plus 9, and then you can also have 9 minus minus, 9 minus minus. Okay, now in both the cases, whether it is in the terms of the variable or in the terms of the value, as we can see that we have only one operand. I repeat, only one operand, that is either one value or one variable. Okay, now when this kind of expression is formed, these are known as unary expressions, that is unary expression. Now what do you mean by unary expression? That is, one result has been created with the help of the unary operators. That is, unary expression can be defined as the expression which is formed to not to with help of only unary operator, you can say, with the help of using only unary operator. Okay, or you can say single operand. Both are applicable. So this becomes, see, just now the definition of the expression actually change when you see, because unary represents one, so total number of operand has to be one. Okay, so these are the kind of unary operators which are available in Java. Okay, so how does it happening? As you can see that the operand can be a variable or a value. So one set of example I have shown you using one variable. As you can see, a plus plus. So beside plus plus, you have only single operand, that is a, or maybe minus minus a, you have the single operand, that is a. So using these variables, you can form a unary expression. With the values also, you can form constant values also, you can form a unary values. Okay. And with that, finally, when you combine all this together, you form what? You form a unary expression. So what is unary expression? Expression which is formed with the help of only unary operator, that is plus plus minus minus. You can consider it as a unary operator, or also you can consider, you can define that is single operand. I repeat, single operand. So when I mean single operand, that means either single variable or single values. So this is overall, as you can see, it looks like your operators and the expressions perception in terms of unary concept. Okay. Now we will just change it a little bit into the binary concept this time. Okay. So binary means what? Binary means 2. When I represent 2, that means, just a second. Okay. So binary 2. Okay. Now in this case, we will change a point a little bit, that is total operand will be 2, not 3. Try to understand, it will be only 2. Okay. So if I have to see a corresponding operands related to this, then we can also write some example like plus, you can write minus. Okay. Then multiplication, then you have division, you have modulus, etc., etc., different kinds of the operands, because they need minimum of 2 operand. Without 2 operand, these operators cannot be used. So that is why this is combinedly known as binary operand. Okay. Now if we move on to the another part, again this particular part remains the same for all the operator, that is operand can be values or variables. Okay. So now if I have to create a binary expressions using the variables, or binary expression using the values, so it's sometimes looks like this. If I write an example with, let's say, variable, so using the variable, what kind of example can I write? I can write a plus b. This is one kind of expression. Now you can see 2 operands, that is 2 variables are being used. You can use another kind of expression, say c minus d. This is one kind of expressions that you can write using the variable. Then you can also write, let's say, p modulus q. Okay. So as you can see, these operators are in the middle of 2 operands. So that means what? Whenever we represent the concept of the binary operators, that means it is compulsorily there has to be the 2 operands, not 2 operators. Okay. And then comes with the examples related to the values. These we generally use in the concept of the mathematics, like if we are writing 9 plus 5, Okay, if we write 6 into 9, okay, then if we write 56 modulus, then you have, let's say, 7. So as you can see, using the values, we have to use two values, minimum two values. It is not necessarily that the values will be same. Okay, please keep this in mind. Not necessarily that the values will be same. Values can also be different, but two values will be treated differently. If you write 9 plus 9, if I repeat this example here, 9 plus 9, okay, this is again a binary expressions because there are two values, that is 9 and 9. Okay, don't take it as a single expression because both the values are same. Okay, so you will think, sir, then to we if we store the value 9 in some variable, we are writing a plus a. It's not like that. Okay, a plus a, when you write a plus a, that means you are using the variable a for two times. If I write it here, okay, or maybe out here, okay, a plus a, okay, it is not necessary that I should have the two different variable. I can have the same variable. In spite of that also, these remain as a binary operator because you are using two variables. Okay, and same thing is applicable for here also. So if I redefine the definition of the expression, okay, we'll just have to change this part. That is, binary expressions are those expression, okay, where you can have two operands, okay, or binary operators. Okay, so this is basically the outlook of your binary expressions. Okay, now the last part is the ternary. Now the ternary part is little bit complex, but still, okay, you since it is a part of your ternary means 3. Okay, ternary means 3. Okay, so how we will define it in the form of the 3? Okay, that is 3 operands. Okay, that is not less, not more, but exactly equal to 3 operands. Okay, and the kind of operator which is available here is only this type. One is question mark followed by colon. Okay, so that is why this type of expression, okay, if the colon is not visible, then I just make it bigger for you to understand. Okay, question mark and colon. Okay, so this type of expression is also termed as conditional operator. Okay, I'm writing in the next line, conditional operator. Okay, so we have only one similar type. Okay, now the total number of the operands, again in this case, the total number of the operands will be 3. It can be 3 different variable, it can be 3 similar variable, it can be 3 uh, different values, it can be 3 similar values. Different values, similar value, different variables, similar variable is not the concern, but there has to be 3. Okay, so how it is? I'll just show you the example. That is, it looks something like this. Bracket, you have condition, bracket close, question mark. Okay, output 1 colon output 2. So this condition becomes one operand, output 1 becomes another operand, and output 2 becomes another operand. This is how you have 3 operands. That is 1, you have 2, and you have 3. This is how your conditional operators works. Okay, For the example and also in the details, we will discuss in the next class. Along with, we will do the practical part also. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.